We go to Tokyo to meet Masato Iino-san, a Japanese entrepreneur, also with his own venture capital, and a teacher of entrepreneurship in Japan for a very interesting chat. Let's go. Hello, good day, everyone. This is Meet the Human podcast, and today is a very special occasion because I am back to Tokyo, one of my favorite cities in the world, perhaps my favorite city in the world, actually, Tokyo. And I have a person who I met on the internet, actually, Masato Iino-san. Masato-san, thank you for being here today. Masato-san is a person I met because I think he shares a lot of values with me, also professional values too. And I also admire his ability to create something very, very new, which is also very innovative. I think he has this kind of brain, and I felt very attracted by his professional profile on LinkedIn. I've been following him for a while, and since I'm in Tokyo, so I decided to ask him if he would have been so kind to
Very honored
to join us, and he's honored. I am so grateful that he's with us. This podcast is very special. Masato-san, how are you?
Very good. And it's a very hot day in Tokyo. It's mid-August today. Actually, it's recorded. But its room is very comfortable, ventilated. And I have a new friend, Luis. So I'm very comfortable. Honored to be here.
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。So this is our podcast number 6 so far, and as I said, we are now in Tokyo, and we're going to discover a little bit of Masato-san views on humanity, human values, a little bit of technology, and also a bit of his personal ability to write down incredible essays that are something out of this planet. But before we go too much into detail, can you just give us a brief or short or long about you to explain to the audience where are you coming from professionally? If you want to also describe your origins a little bit, just your own description of Masato-san.
Thank you, Luis. My name is Masato Iino. 61 years old. I just turned 61 yesterday. Then a husband and a father of 2, one son and one daughter. And I was a serial entrepreneur, founded 4 startups in the past, 3 of which crashed and burned. And one I founded in the US, I sold it to Google so to be financially okay. Now I'm doing some angel investment, and I'm running my own very tiny venture capital and a consultancy firm for large enterprise who wish to kind of happen innovation in large organization, which is very tough. And then I also teach at several colleges like Waseda, Tokyo Tech, those students entrepreneurship. So that I have a pretty interesting career as an individual at my age class. So I have a lot to share with young people. So that's what I'm doing.
Wow. I think we have more in common than I thought.
But I've never worked in maritime before.
That is right. So, and what are your origins? So what did you study when you were young to become who you are now?
I was born in city of Sendai, which is a northern part of Japan, in an ordinary middle class family. 61 years ago. And after that, my family moved to Tokyo. And I was luckily going to some prestigious high school in Tokyo, and eventually go to some University of Tokyo, which is thought to be a very good school in Tokyo. Then I started my career at investment banking, late 80s, where Japanese economy was very boomed. Then after that, soon after I started working as a professional, Japanese economy crashed. Then it's a long period of stagnant economy started as I started working as a professional. But I got an opportunity to study in the US for a business degree at Harvard on a corporate scholarship. So that's where I started learn. I was born and raised in Japan, so my English is purely kind of gained through this education, and I got a good friends from many schools. And after that, when I left the bank to start working for General Electric, GE, as a kind of business development. Back then, GE was tiny in Japan. It was very actively expanding to many countries, including Japan, where I was working as a business development director to acquire businesses in Japan. So it's somehow related to financial play, mergers and acquisitions. But after that, throughout this M&A activity, I learned the excitement of some investing in real business. Then I decided to start my own tiny startup. That's a kind of a beginning of the long-lasting, really tough life for me. When I was 34, I already had two child back then. The younger one was 0 years old, it's a baby. But leaving them at home, I started jumping to the unknown world of entrepreneurship. And I will come back to this topic later, but basically my entrepreneur life was illuminated by many failures, a series of failures. I raised tons of money from investors, burnt it, crashed. I started next one, burnt and crashed it. Third one, again, same thing. I started to giving up, but one very good angel investor to me just urged me not to give up. So I moved to the US because I didn't have anyone who's patient enough to keep investing in me after 3 failures, big failures. But I started a fourth startup in Los Angeles, California. And eventually, I luckily sold it to Google to be okay, and some paid back some investment of this specific angel investors. So that's fine. Then after coming back to Japan, I started working for venture capital as a professional partner, believing me as a kind of have a sufficient experience as being an entrepreneur, how to invest in it. I thought I would be an expert in this because I crushed 3 startups. I successfully exited 1 startup in the US. So I thought I was be expert. But my life as a venture capitalist was again really notorious. I mean, there a lot of pessimism, tragedy. So I started wondering what is the kind of insight from these lessons of a failure. That's the kind of a basic tone I want to talk a lot about today.
Mm-hmm.
And now I encountered entrepreneurial methodology called that lean startup. You might have heard that
Yes.
notion.
Yeah.
That was very great because up to me, each startup has different theme and different challenge in different segment or different stage, different regional area. So each startups are different from each other. Each one is unique. Nonetheless, this lean startup is somehow unified the theory of going through the series of trials and errors in the most efficient manner, and how can we learn from failures as a lesson. And that became a really strong ground foundation of my thinking today. So leveraging that experience and the learning or lessons I've learned from bitter experiences,
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to invest into the young entrepreneurs and somehow train them to go through the series of inevitable failures in the most efficient manner, and also how to learn from those. I do that through my own venture capital, as well as I'm delivering a consultancy service based on that learning to enterprise for fee. And also I teach the methodology and some entrepreneurial spirit to college students at several schools. I guess that's enough introduction for me.
That's a very magnificent introduction. Thank you, Masato-san. It's very interesting. You use the word that you were illuminated by failures.
Yeah.
Actually, I follow you because my previous life, also my previous career, I've been kind of doing this kind of applying this methodology to innovation, and I understand the fail fast and move on, learn and so on. But I never thought about to use the word illumination. Do you sounds like you consider the failure more important than the success?
Yeah, I mean, I also use the word inevitable. So to me, human being is a creature to make failure. And the difference is that how can we learn from it, or just we cry over spilled milk? Well, that's a huge difference. So I want to be a human being who is willing to learn from failure because it's inevitable. So that's the part of the reason why I use illuminated by failure. My life is, I try to think that way. My life is better because of the series of failure, because I learned much of it. I know many of my friends hate to make failure. They want to go smart. They want to go straight to success. But unfortunately, that's not the case we can expect from our life. So we need to embrace the failure, that how to deal with failure, how to make failure make our life richer. That's the basic tone of life or approach of mine.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel everybody fails in a way because humans are not perfect by all means. Maybe some people realize or focus or stop to think about the failure a bit more than others, perhaps.
They don't want to see.
Yeah, perhaps then they don't feel that it has happened, but actually it happens, right?
Sure.
And so I can see I'm very similar to you, and to be successful in my life, I do feel I really focus on the learning from failure, or when things didn't go as per plan. Let's say you can call it a failure, yes. And it is tough, but when I think when we do it as a methodology, And the long run is positive. It returns good outcome.
We need to fail in order to be successful.
We need to fail in order to be successful. And this is the so you already mentioned a little bit of humanity and your view of humanity when you are reflecting on this idea of need to fail to be successful. Do you want to give us then a little bit of a high-level view of humanity?
Sure. If I am forced to define what is the humanity, again, my answer would be human is designed to make failure. Right? I mean, our life should be illuminated by failure. So, to me, humanity means fallibility, and then we will make mistakes or failure. The problem here is that can we learn from it, or just we neglect it or ignore it? That makes a huge difference. So humanity, for me, is failure from which we can learn. I don't know if it's a kind of straightforward answer to you, but I define humanity as that.
Very straightforward, and I like that it is your answer, and I really appreciate everybody has his view on his own view on humanity. And to be honest with you, I will have to think about it if I need to reply to my own question.
Sure.
Don't ask me, please. So thinking about on your thinking, how you frame humanity, your idea of humanity, apart from the focus on learning from failure, any other key attributes that you may say you can distinguish humanity from non-humanity? Some attributes, something that defines humanity in addition to this ability to...
Yeah, I mean, we are not living alone. And the humanity is inevitably a network of individuals. So unless some individuals can tolerate others to fail, this network will not stand. So to me, this fallibility or some readiness towards failure is somehow guaranteed by the acceptance of others. That's like another aspect. It's a kind of a coins, the tail or top. Unless one can tolerate someone's failure, we cannot fail. So as a humanity, I can double define. We have to fail, but we have to accept or we have to tolerate others to fail, to forgive others to fail. For me, this forgiveness and readiness towards failure is two important elements of a humanity.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that is what also defines your humanity?
Yeah, I mean, I need to be tolerant to others' failure. So I don't want to be strict, or I don't want to ever mention someone to never fail. That's not my style. As a human being, I want to tolerate others to make failure.
Do you think this is because of what you do, or because of who you are?
A little bit of both, because as I told you, when I was young, I went to the prestigious schools where the kids were smart. And then they are trying to
like
behave like, very smart kids. I don't have anything to do with failure. I'm doing okay. I'm a golden hair. That's attitude. But after I went through this struggle of entrepreneurship, I started gaining this attitude towards humanity. Failure is inevitable. And the problem is we need to learn from it. So probably my experience or what I am today is kind of product of my experience or past. So that so makes me say or define humanity as a failure and tolerant.
I see. Very interesting. Thank you.
And thank you. I mean, Luis found me on internet when I started posting this blog. It's called The Dance of the Eternity. Dance of Eternity to me is more like a biological animal, right? I mean, dance is movement. Eternity is over generations, we keep dancing. Right? That's the title of the blog, in which I was digging into the not only humanity, but as a creature or living organs. What is the common thing? Not only humans, but with a bird or some the alligators, or whatever. I mean, to me, all some biological creatures went through a series of trials and errors to be as they are today. That's the kind of evolution, right? I mean, evolution is, after all, went through a series of trials and errors, and which fitted the most survives today, to make this a diversity in this biological world around us. So I started thinking about the diversity or trials and error or fallibility in really narrow entrepreneur theme. But when I looked a little bit, zoom out from that, all those some animals or all this world with living creatures are really a product of trials and errors in the eyes of evolution. So that caught my curiosity. That made me started writing some blogs. That was about evolution, right?
Because I did meet Masato-san through his blog, The Dance of Eternity. I mean, the title is amazing. Now I understand the title, the meaning of the title. I gave it my own meaning, but now you have given it a new meaning. Which is very interesting.
But the Dance of Eternity is also the title of my favorite tune of a heavy metal rock band, Dream Theater. That's an American heavy metal band, which is very technical.
Dream Theater.
Dream Theater. Then their kind of icon instrumental tune is The Dance of Eternity. So I stole that title to be my blog's title, and it's double meaning. It's a dance as a very dynamic existence. But eternity is over generation. It evolves over time. I stole it from the Dream Theaters.
You give it your own meaning, I guess. That the band probably will give a different meaning, I guess. Dance of Eternity. Eternity becomes dynamic thanks to adding the word dance.
Yes.
Otherwise, eternity my brain, I might think about it as something at the end. But you make eternity being something of today and continues
over generations
and as an evolution. Very interesting. Actually, I think you are on episode number 40. What's
45?
45 so far. If I think I will leave a link to your blog in the description of this podcast. If anybody wants to go in, and I suggest if anybody wants to go for read some of these blogs that Masato-san writes, I think it's better to start from episode number 1 and go in order, because I've been doing that, and there's an evolution of thoughts and ideas, and it's good to start at the beginning.
Thank you.
Then catch up. They're very easy to read. I think 5 to 8 minutes per episode. super thick, super elaborated, but so interesting.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
interesting. I really, I value
You
your
are
work.
one of the very few enthusiastic readers of my blog. I have to thank you.
I think you will have a lot, but you don't know them. So I just wanted to clarify, really, what was what triggered you to start that blog? From not writing anything, let's say, for not writing that, to writing something so unique and deep. What was the trigger?
Very difficult questions to answer, but I'm trying to answer to that. Since I'm running a very small consultancy firm myself and 10 other of my colleagues, each one of them are very smart, and because we know we are capable of delivering intelligent contents to our clients, enterprise, we need to be a really intelligent and a really expert on what we are doing, which is delivering or creating innovation. And the lean startup is a very well-thoughted notion, and it's very systematic and it's easy to be shared. But whenever I try to deliver that content to our client, I need to know what's the more general principle behind those technical series of knowledge. In order to achieve some intelligent background behind those lean startup or design thinking or agile development or whatever, our team tried to sit down and discuss nights after night about that rather philosophical issues together. But after years of doing that, I started, it's time for me to put my thoughts on the character, not on words, on discussion. So I excused my colleague to give me some time to start writing something rather than just discussing and that our words evaporates in the air after the sweaty few hours. So I wanted to record my thoughts. That's the kind of moment I started to writing this blog. So to me, entrepreneurship or innovation or startup is all the artificial products of human being. But after all, human being is a living creature. So I wanted to articulate this notion of trials and errors, evolution, not only to a biological evolution, but also to innovation projects, which is another living creature to me. So I tried to bridge the two different concepts, but to try to somehow put those bridge into words as a blog. So I'm writing 40-something posts now. It will go at least some 40, 50 more. I have some memo at home. So
I'm very glad to hear that you will continue writing.
Thank you.
So it sounds like as if you were able to associate some human traits to not just to daily life, but actually to successful entrepreneurial life. And you're studying how humans are in a biological sense as well, as part of this world that we are all nature. Everything is.
Yeah.
Actually, I follow your logic a lot. That's why I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Everything is connected. This table is also connected with us, and everything. We are all here at the same time. You are bringing that concept, and now I read. You are able to associate that and use it in your teaching of entrepreneurship, and which at first glance you wouldn't think they are associated, but I think you are trying to link them to explain how to make entrepreneurship successful. when it's done by humans.
Yes.
Because that's who we are.
Because I started feeling unsatisfied with delivering only a technical procedures to our clients or students. But without some foundation or some philosophical thinking, it's technical is technical. So I want to give us some foundation to relate to each other. And as deeper I dig, the more I found very profound. It's a biological evolution or artistic evolution or business evolution. It's closely tied to each other. And I know the words of system thinking or some complexity research, but here and there it all connects under the umbrella of evolution to me. So I'm really excited to dig into that. And my company's some service quality has somehow leveled up because of this kind of thinking experiments. So I'm happy to with what I'm doing.
You experience some impact already of doing this. And when did you start to associate these concepts, more wider concepts, into your theory?
Before doing this, my service was more designed to more or less a specific business context. If I talk to an automobile company, my consultation on this lean startup is somehow narrowed down to fit to specific context. If I go speak to a electronics company, it's somehow modified or customized to that context. But having this more generic foundation, which can be applied all the way thing, the biological creatures to artistics or business, I can speak, or my colleague can start speaking in more broader context, and which is somehow fits to the automobile industry in Japan in 2025, but which somehow easily generalized to other topics. So this, how do you call this? Really high level, high altitude thinking, and a really low level concrete consultancy, really working as a bread and butter. It's really fun for me to see that.
Incredible, very unique, very unique. Just before you, a few minutes ago, you mentioned your family. You mentioned your children. You mentioned that you said, I may come back to that later. What was that about? If you want to share.
Interestingly, I have a 30-year-old son and a 27-year-old daughter. Neither of them are interested at all in this, what I'm doing. My biological descendants have nothing to do with what I'm doing. And I'm enthusiastically trying to somehow inherit what I earned on this journey. They are not interested at all. That's very interesting. But instead, I'm teaching what I'm thinking to college kids at the 20s, college kids, very ambitious, very smart young kids that don't have anything. Is some gene relations, but I have lots of kids, right, which shares my thoughts in many colleges. That's interesting. Almost it's more like as if I have many children out there. They are not my kid, but they share what I think, and they try to challenge to entrepreneurial project that same mindset as I have. So, in a sense, that's I spread out my genes to the many young students, and I wish I make some change in the world by doing that.
I'm sure you will. You do. And entrepreneurship is very much for some people, very much not for some people. I found in throughout my professional life that it's a very, very different type of
Right.
mindset person.
But entrepreneurship is not necessarily limited to starting up a venture, right? I mean, one can be entrepreneurial in their day-to-day life, somehow try new recipe or some try a new app on the smartphone or something new from the very unique angle in my life is bringing something new to their daily life is entrepreneurial enough for me. So I always tell my students not to define entrepreneurship in too narrow way. Starting up a company, raising some funds from investors is not only the entrepreneurial challenge. I know you are entrepreneur. So,
I think I'm a hybrid. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can be. Yes, I can be. I understand it. Yes, I have my bits. Yeah, I do my entrepreneurial exercises. Yes, I'm very curious. I like innovation a lot, and yeah, I do my projects.
yeah, believe it or not, I'm talking to a Japanese traditional companies, and it's a high senior management every day, and many of them are really innovations is not my game.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, that yeah, that is my game for sure. Yes. Sometimes I need to stop my innovative drive. Sometimes it comes on the way of other things.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Can be out of control.
Yeah. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. So now I'm watching that very, very carefully. Masato-san, fantastic conversation. Let's challenge humanity a little bit with the concept of AI. Let's talk about AI a little bit just to finish this discussion. I am very interested always to ask everybody about how then we as humans live or need to live or can live or should live with AI. We will talk about being illuminated by failures. Maybe AI one day will eliminate failure and there will be no failure. Just give me your very high level view of the relationship. Well, whichever angle you want to give it. We could talk about relationship with humanity. We can talk about inevitability of it or not. You may have some. I'm very curious to know your ideas about.
Again, humanity to me is fallibility. We all make mistakes. We all make failure. I am concerned in that context when I see artificial intelligence. People tend to see AI as an infallible existence because it's beyond our intelligence. AI will never make any mistake. It's a false kind of a belief somehow shared among us. That concerns me a lot. As I guess it was Noval Harari. He wrote in his latest book, Nexus, that and quoted some tragic event in 2017 in Myanmar, where the Rohingya people were really massacred on the basis of a fake news, which is spread by artificial intelligence algorithm of Facebook. It created a false news stating that the Rohingya people were conspiratorially sent by a neighbor country to invade Myanmar. They don't share any some same religions with Myanmar people, and it's fake. But that algorithm was promoted by Facebook's the AI design that the article that attracts more attention is better algorithm. So attracting attention is the sole purpose of this algorithm. And sadly, human beings are attracted more to the tragic or bad news more than the ordinary good news. If we follow that some dogma, SNS is filled by bad news or tragedy or conspiracy or whatever you call it. That happens. That happened back in 2017 in a tragic way, and it still does today. I mean, social networks are filled with lots of bad news, and because people love to see bad news, people don't want to pay attention to the good news that I'm glad that you safely landed in Tokyo today. Safe flight, no accidents.
Good news.
But that won't be a news.
No news.
No SNS would spread. You are some flight from Hong Kong, successfully delivered to Louis to Japan. Hallelujah. Nobody say that.
And it was super smooth.
It's super, yeah.
Not even a small turbulence, which is rare.
Somehow humans beings are very easy to bend towards those more attractive news, which is tragic news, bad news, everywhere, war news, poverty news. I mean, they like those bad news. As such, in humanity perspective, AI can fail. In my definition. So AI is no exception of a human product, which is fallible. But somehow people tend to think AI is like a god. I mean, it will not make any mistake. It will infallible. That notion concerns me a lot. I mean, political system is a division of a power among a government, Congress, and judicature. In a company, it's a shareholders meeting and a directors board and other decision organization to check each other. All those systems are designed on the basic belief of a fallibility, right? People will make mistake. In order to stop that or in order to correct that, we need to have some balance of power and everything. For some reason, when it comes to the AI, people tend to see it infallible. So my tendency is to install a fallible principle even to AI. So we need a foolproof for AI systems before it goes to some singularity or whatever they call it, no point of return. We need to make some kind of break systems to AI to better serve us as a human.
I see. I'm very keen to also always try to focus on there must be some positive goal when people meet in big. I agree with what you're saying about people check on people and these boards are created because nobody's perfect and okay, so risk management and sort of. I also tend to believe that this when people meet people, a lot good could come up from it that otherwise it wouldn't have happened in the first place. Because when people get together, they can also create a greater good than individual by individual. So I just wanted to say that because I believe also we need to also have some positive hope on humanity. Humanity can overachieve.
Okay.
Maybe together. Is that something you may have thought about, or you agree, disagree?
Since I'm investing into innovative projects as a career, I tend to see AI as a tool. Then the tool, by the word tool, I mean the tool can be used in two ways. One is converging usage, in my opinion. I mean, when people use AI as efficiency stuff, that efficiency is based on the premise that the human being knows what to do. Then in order to make that happen faster or cheaper, we can use AI to do that. Some shortcut, everything. No mistake, faster, covering the broader range of knowledge. That's fine. To me, that is a pure robot usage. Some muscles, brain muscles, can be somehow, that work can be done by labor of AI. But on the other side, diverging usage, I would say. AI can diverge far wider than a human being can do. I mean, we can be creative, but as a brain with a protein structure, have some limit. But AI can diverge to make human beings' life better. So after all, evolution, again, is diverge and converge. And so unless we can diverge enough, we cannot converge to a better place. So people tend to put too much emphasis on converging or efficiency stuff without thinking too much about the diverging. Diverging includes a lot of errors or failures. But again, biological evolution is the same thing. Many gene change is neutral or somehow disadvantageous in the environment, which is selected to make some living creature better. So instead of using AI as a converging tool, shortcut, faster, cheaper, using AI as a diverging tool beyond human beings' capability is kind of a better usage or positive aspect of AI to me.
Thank you very much. That is a very beautiful concept that I have to think about for
Sure, please.
a special podcast sometime in the future. Maybe dedicate a podcast to this very interesting concept.
I'm happy to come back to help you when you talk about that with someone.
Probably you suddenly you just created a ocean of questions in my brain about
My pleasure.
the power of AI to diverge for a good purpose, diverge to then to come back to create something even better than what humans could do with our humanity. I do believe in the power of AI. If it's well used, it could be beneficial, but it's a very interesting topic, very dynamic. I think we are coming probably towards the end of the podcast.
Sure.
Do you remember the question that Valérie asked?
Yeah, what she asked, the specific question, what would be the event or quote that reunites or reconciles the people who haven't talked for long or who are apart from each other for long? That was her question.
Incredible question. I mean,
very difficult questions to answer.
I know, super difficult, but it's so deep and so meaningful in what it's trying to achieve. And do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, but because this conversation is evolved around the humanity. One thing which divides a human being from a machine is that a human being has preference. I mean, like or dislike. Right or wrong is more like an algorithm or logic. Machine can do that. I mean, right or wrong. But the human being, I like ramen better than udon, is not that what machines would say, right? I mean, so
And these are kind of food.
ramen.
Some people may not know what ramen
Okay. So Chinese noodle
food
over
kind of
some
food,
other
yeah.
thing. I mean,
Sorry.
or so hamburger over ramen. I mean Chinese noodle.
Yes, yes.
That's preference to me. So as a human being, I would try to reconcile human being not by logic, but by preference or emotion side. So I would, in order to reconcile the two persons, I would ask, what is your preferable food or preferable music, preferable movie you've seen recently? And started facilitating the conversation between the two. It's not the wrong or right topic, but they started exchanging some ideas around those food or some art or some creative thing. Then that would reconcile or some bridge between the two people who are apart from each other, whose value might be different from each other, but starting talking about something favorite stuff would be something good for some luxury, I would say, only human being can enjoy, not from machine. So it's a human being can talk about. For example, I like dream theater, heavy metal. I know not many people like that genre, but I still like it. That's my freedom to say that. So if I can even speak about the dream theater with those who hate the music, but because without hurting each other. So that's, as a human being, preference or like dislike is a virtue human being can enjoy.
Well, thank you so much. I think Valérie will be very happy with your answer, I hope. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. So then, do you want to venture a question for my next guest?
Since I am the believer of fallibility, or we are doomed to make, not doomed, but designed to make a failure. My question would be, from what event did you learn most in your life? In other words, from what failure did you learn most in your life? Is my questions to my next interviewee.
Wow. Because I think I know who the next one is. And because wow, this question is very deep, interesting, hard.
Yeah, take a moment to think about the biggest failure which I learned most. Would be a fruitful moment.
Fruitful moment. Very super interesting question. Masato-san, I think this is the end of our podcast. We have spent
Enough
good
time.
50 minutes or so. This is only our podcast number 1, I think. Hopefully we do some other sometime later in life. And thank you for accepting my very wild, sudden invitation to be here today. I really appreciate it.
I'm honored.
Otsukare-sama-desu.
I enjoyed this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Luis.
much. Thank you. Pleasure to have you here. And to everyone at the other side, thank you for being there. Meet the Human. This is podcast 6. We are preparing podcast 7 also in Tokyo, coming up soon. Thank you for being there, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.
Okay. Enjoyed a lot.
Did you like it?
I liked it a lot.
Really?
And this conversation somehow organized my scattered mind. So I enjoyed a lot. relaxed.
That's a very good beginning. Yes. I am less relaxed than you. This is my most nervous podcast so far.
Oh, but you've done 5.
Yeah, but with different people. That people I know, with people I know much more than you. Oh my God. All right, are we ready?
Sure.
Masato-san, can I call you Masato-san?
No, just Masato.
Masato. Oh, okay. I normally call in Japan. I always, I don't know.
Without san is. This is for English speakers.
I know, but it's strange for me to
Talk to Japanese person without
yeah.
Okay, so whatever you feel
I'm
comfortable.
thinking maybe even my very good friends, I tend to add san at the end. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
But in return, it's somehow awkward for me to call you Luis-san. So that's that.
Oh, but I am fine if you call me Luis-san, and in Japan everybody
Okay.
calls me Luis-san, and I like it. But if you call me Luis, yeah, everybody calls me Luis. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
so,
what I thought.
So you can call me. You have 2 options.
Somehow, let's let it happen.